Hi, my name's Carol Tarnava, and I am the current MCA PTA president, and I am so very glad that you are here. This quick presentation is going to tell you all about some volunteer guidelines and expectations so you could feel safe and successful when you volunteer at MCA. I want to start off by saying thank you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come and learn what it could be like to volunteer with the PTA at Mill Creek Academy. We are so thankful that you have chosen to be part of this community, and we can't wait to spend time working with you. You're watching this video because you have some kind of expectation or idea of what you want to get out of volunteering at Mill Creek. And we want to tell you that the PTA is here to support whatever you believe is the best way to volunteer. Tell us what your dreams are. Tell us what you're passionate about. Tell us where your skills are. And we will help you find that perfect place for you to go and give us and show those talents and make the school a better place. Now, I also want to make sure that you understand that the PTA is going to respect your boundaries. If you say that you want to do this one thing, that's what we're going to make sure that you do. It is a myth that once you start going to PTA events that you get sucked in and you never get to get out until your kid graduates 8th grade. I can tell you it's a myth because I want to make sure that you know I wear a bunch of different hats. I'm sure you wear a bunch of different hats, and we're going to all work together to make sure that everybody feels successful volunteering when they can, doing the things that they love. The very first thing that you need to do in order to be a volunteer at Mill Creek Academy is to become approved. You could either go on Mill Creek's website or you could go on the district website and search for the Keep and Track system so you can apply to be an approved volunteer. The volunteer approval lasts for 3 years. If you were in a different school last year and did the volunteer sign up there, it still counts this year. It goes across all the district schools. Also, if there's other people in your family that you think might volunteer one day, you could go ahead and register them too. Like, I'll let you know, I volunteered both of my in-laws because I know that eventually they're going to come and help me at a PTA event. So I went through and I signed them both up to make sure that when they do decide to come, that they will be ready. According to the St. Johns County School District, a volunteer is a non-paid individual who gives his or her time to the school while performing assigned duties. The St. Johns County School District has guidelines for all of its volunteers. You can find these volunteers in detail on the St. Johns County School website. There's a handbook back from, I think, 2017 that kind of goes through all of the different things. But the big ones are you have to be healthy, you have to be at least 18, you need to make sure that you're a positive example through dress and behavior, be cooperative and courteous to all of people that you see at school, to exhibit the 6 pillars of character, and to uphold confidentiality. We'll get to that one in a minute. So you signed up to volunteer for your first time at Mill Creek Academy. What do you do next? Well, the first thing I'm sure that you did was made sure that you were approved volunteer in school access. Then you'd walk into the building and there are computers right when you walk in the vestibule, and you'll go and sign into school and click on the activity that comes up on the menu that you are going to be participating in. Then you'll walk over to the ladies behind the desk and you'll say, "Hi, I'm here." They will give you your name badge sticker as soon as you show them some form of identification. When you are going through the building, make sure that you are wearing your name tag at all times, and also go immediately to the place that you said you were going to be going to. If you volunteered to work the lunchroom, you do not go to your kiddo's classroom and steal a quick hug, even though I know you want to, but we got to go immediately to the places that we say that we're going to go for your safety and for the safety of everybody at the school. Here are some quick guidelines from the St. Johns County School Board to make sure that you are following some of the general goals for when you are volunteering. Some of them involve the classroom. PTA really doesn't do very much in the classroom in terms of individual parties or class parents or room moms or anything like that. If you want to be volunteering in your child's classroom, reach out to your teacher and they will be able to give you more information about what they want in the classroom. We also want to make sure that we are providing opportunities for interested community members to be directly involved with school. I mean, that's why you're here. We want to be involved. We want to participate. And so those are the big things that we want to do. Let's create some of those places for us to make connection with grown-ups and with students. As a volunteer at Mill Creek Academy, we hope that when you enter the building, you strive to be dependable and punctual. If you can't make it to a day where you said you were going to volunteer, that's no problem, but we just need you to communicate with us or communicate it with your child's classroom teacher. We also expect that you will respect cultural differences of all of the students and staff members at Mill Creek Academy, and that you will be there to provide encouragement and support to our students and staff. Please remember that when you walk into your child's classroom, that the teacher is in charge and she or he are expecting for you to do the job that they asked for you to do. Please make sure that you are following their directions and not changing things around too much. Don't be afraid to ask for help or for clarification. Every volunteer will have a moment where they don't know what to do. And I promise you that every single PTA member, staff, or student at Mill Creek Academy will be there to help you if you need to learn something. Every time you enter Mill Creek Academy, we hope that you show a warm, friendly, and positive attitude to every student, staff member, and teacher that you meet. This is a pretty big one. For your safety and for the student safety at Mill Creek Academy, we want to make sure that you never assume the responsibility for disciplining students. If there is a situation that you feel uncomfortable with where a child is making some not good choices, make sure that you go and get somebody who works at Mill Creek Academy to help you with disciplining and taking over the situation. You should never be responsible for disciplining a child. Also, please never initiate any kind of physical contact with a student. That's not our role as volunteers. Lastly, make sure that you abide by confidentiality rules for students and staff. We'll talk more about that one on the next page. So here are some final expectations for things that are going to be more relevant in a day-to-day situation at Mill Creek Academy. First, make sure that when you come into school and you keep your cell phone on you, that it is on vibrate. Loud ringtones could totally distract the work that the students are doing. So just make sure that you keep your cell phones on vibrate. Also, please don't be playing with them in class. And lastly, please don't use them while you're driving in the parking lot. We want to make sure that you are alert and paying attention to your surroundings when you're driving. Now, confidentiality. You've heard me mention it twice before, and it's really, truly that important. We want to make sure that every single volunteer, no matter if you're working in the lunchroom or whether you are grading some worksheets in your child's classroom, that you understand that you have the obligation of keeping everything in confidence and protecting the confidentiality of the students. We don't need people going home and gossiping about what people saw in the lunchroom or behavior of this child, or that a teacher did this or a teacher did that. We want to make sure that every volunteer is also going to have their confidentiality respected. We are not supposed to be discussing things amongst our friends or our neighbors. If you ever though feel that you are witnessing something that you feel really uncomfortable about, like a teacher saying something or doing something, please know that you could always come to the PTA, or you could go directly to Dr. Goodwin if you felt truly uncomfortable with something that is happening. But if not, you just keep it to yourself, and then we'll be able to make sure that all students and staff are protected. Now, finally, what happens if there's some kind of emergency? Well, if it's a weather drill, or if it's a fire drill, if it's a fire drill and you are up on the stage for helping hands, we want to make sure that you just exit the building as close or as quickly as you can, find the nearest exit and leave. Now, if you're in a classroom, your directions are to follow whatever the teacher says. So if it's time to get up and leave the classroom, your job is to help the kiddos get in line and head outside as quickly as possible. Let's say that there's some kind of lockdown emergency procedure and you are in the classroom with the teacher. Again, your job is to follow whatever the teacher says. If you are in helping hands, please go into the helping hands closet and shut the door. If you're wandering hallways trying to get from one place to another and there's an emergency situation, it's your job to duck into a classroom or a bathroom or something where you will be able to lock the door and be safe. It's hard to talk about things like that, and we hope that it's never going to happen when you are when you are volunteering at Mill Creek, but we want to make sure that you know exactly what to do in case that there is an emergency. If you have any other questions, please let us know and we'll be able to help you. As parents, we know how to deal really well with our own kids' behaviors, but sometimes we might not remember exactly how to go and talk with some other people's children. Or maybe if you're like me, you need a little refresher sometimes to remember how to keep your cool when situations arise. So let's talk quickly about some behavior techniques that you can implement when you are working with students at Mill Creek Academy. First, positive reinforcement. One of the best things to do is point out something that you see that somebody is doing really well, and maybe the kiddo next door who's maybe, I don't know, playing with his go-gurt and flinging it around like a lasso might see that other behaviors are more acceptable, and that example will help them make better choices. Also, please be consistent with your messaging. Be an active listener. Sometimes all a kid really needs to do is tell you something, and they are going to feel a whole lot better. Showing empathy and kindness to our kids as volunteers is one of the best way to help make connections and to help with behavior choices. And saying choices, well, that's also a really good strategy. Sometimes giving a child choice between two things that you know are good choices, but that they might not necessarily do on their own would be a great thing. So you could do this or you could do that, which is your choice, but giving both examples as positive things for them to be choosing. A great strategy for helping a kiddo who's making some poor behavior choices is to make sure you are giving behavior specific expectations, such as, let's say a kiddo's having a little bit of trouble squirming around in his chair, and you need to make sure that he or she is being safe. You might want to say, hey, instead of sit down, you might want to say, when we sit in our chairs, we keep our bodies still, our bottoms on the chair, and all 4 feet of the chair on the floor. That makes us safer. Making something specific like that could really help a kiddo understand what the expectations are. We also want to make sure, again, with that idea of expectations, that you set limits and expectations that are clear so the students understand what are expected of them. You could combat some of those little stressful situations with some humor, but make sure that you're not being sarcastic, because a lot of our kids aren't ready to understand sarcasm yet, and they might be a little confused about what you're truly saying. Also, no matter what, no matter who, every single child at Mill Creek Academy deserves our respect and deserves our empathy because they are children. They do not have to earn our respect by behaving a certain way. They are immediately respected because they are human beings. Now that we've gotten all that out of the way, let's talk about what you're really here for. What opportunities are there at Mill Creek Academy? Well, again, I want to remind you that anything that happens in your child's classroom is going to be teacher directed. The PTA doesn't really do things with room parents or specific activities in your child's individual classroom. So again, reach out to your kids' teachers to make sure that you understand what they need from you in terms of volunteering. Now, for the PTA, we do a lot of big school-wide things, such as Helping Hands, where we meet on Tuesdays to help cut and laminate and staple and sort and make things for our teachers so their lives could be easier. That's every Tuesday at 8:30. You could sign up on the Sign Up Genius on our website. Also, we just found out that we are going to be asking for help every single day for lunchroom duty for the younger grades. So from 10 o'clock till 11:45 every day, there is an opportunity for you to come in and help out at lunch. Lastly, PTA is known for some pretty amazing events that we host for school. And so if you are ever interested in leading an event or signing up to help at an event, all of those things are going to be communicated out on our Facebook page, on Sunday emails, and on our website. So just check them out, see what's coming up, and see how you could help volunteer. I hope that by now you are so excited to come and help out and volunteer your time and talents at MCA. So how do you let us know that you would like to contact us and get involved? Well, first place that you could get in touch with us is our Facebook group. That's where we're most active and where you're going to get the most consistent reminders and ideas about what's coming up next. Our website will also always be updated, and you could always email us at mcapta18@gmail.com. Now, if we were sitting together in the MCA cafe and we were having a discussion about volunteering, this is when I would have said, so do you have any questions for me? Do you have any comments? Do you have any big ideas that you wish that the PTA would do? I would say, come on, tell me, talk to me. But we can't do that right now because you're just watching. So please reach out on email or on Facebook and let us know if you have any questions that you would like answered, or if you have big ideas that you would like to see us implement, and join us and be part of the team. We want everybody to be part of the team here at MCA, and we value every single one of you. I truly am so humbled and honored that you have made it this far in the presentation. Thank you so much again for spending time learning about what it takes to be a volunteer at MCA and having the desire to come and be part of a community to make us even stronger than we already are. Thank you so much, Mighty Mustangs, and I look forward to working with all of you soon. Bye.